Every piece of relationship advice you've ever received assumed one thing: that you already have a relationship with yourself, a stable one, a reliable one where you are, at minimum, on your own side. Most people skip this step entirely. They go looking for a secure partner before they've become one, to themselves. And then they wonder why the secure relationship they find still doesn't feel like enough. Today, for the first time in this series, we're not talking about the relationship between two people. We're talking about the most important relationship you will ever have. Here is the pattern no one talks about. You do the work, you heal the anxious attachment. You understand the avoidant, you break the cycle, you find the secure partner, and the relationship is good, genuinely good, and you still feel, some days, a low-level emptiness that the relationship doesn't fill, a restlessness that a good morning text doesn't touch, a need that no amount of reassurance fully satisfies. And you start to wonder, is something wrong with me? Is something wrong with us? Nothing is wrong with either of you. The emptiness is not a relationship problem. It is a self-relationship problem. It is the specific hollowness of someone who has outsourced their sense of okayness to another person, even a good one, not yet built it inside themselves. No relationship, however secure, however loving, can give you the thing you need to give yourself first. You cannot receive what you haven't learned to hold. John Bowlby's secure base theory, the foundation of everything we've talked about in this series, was originally about a child and a caregiver. The caregiver is the secure base. The child explores from it, returns to it, is regulated by it. But what happens when you grow up and the caregiver's gone? When the base has to be internal? The most psychologically mature version of this theory is what therapists call the internalized secure base, a self that can function as its own caregiver, that can provide to itself the three things a secure attachment figure provides: consistency, regulation, and repair. Consistency. You are predictable to yourself. You know what you value. You act from those values. You don't abandon yourself under pressure. Regulation. When you are dysregulated, anxious, overwhelmed, frightened, you have internal resources to return to: breath, body, something that works. You are not entirely dependent on external sources to bring you back to baseline. Repair. When you fail yourself, and you will, you can come back without destroying the relationship. You acknowledge it. You try again. The internal relationship survives imperfection because repair is available. 6 practices, not theory, practices. Things you do repeatedly until they become the new architecture. Practice 1. Be consistent with yourself. Do what you tell yourself you'll do. Not perfectly, consistently. Show up to your own commitments. If you say you'll rest, rest. If you say you'll leave, leave. The internal relationship is built from the same material as external ones: repeated reliability. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your nervous system learns, I can count on me. Practice 2. Stop outsourcing your emotional regulation. Every time you need someone else to confirm you're okay before you believe you're okay, you are renting their nervous system instead of building your own. The practice is small and specific. When the anxiety fires, sit with it for 60 seconds before reaching for your phone. You don't have to solve it alone. You have to demonstrate to yourself that you can tolerate it alone, even briefly. Practice 3. Repair with yourself. When you fail yourself, and you will fail yourself chronically in small ways. Don't compound it with abandonment. Don't add the second wound of shame and self-rejection to the first wound of the mistake. Instead, notice what happened, understand why, try differently. The self-relationship survives failure the same way external relationships do, by repair, not perfection. Practice 4. Trust your own perceptions. The anxious person chronically overrides their own read of situations. Their partner's explanation replaces their felt experience. Their therapist's framework replaces their gut. The practice is this: your perception is data, not infallible, but real. If you felt it, it happened inside you. You are allowed to take it seriously before you explain it away. Practice 5. Tolerate your own presence. Sit alone, in quiet, for 10 minutes, without filling the space. No phone, no podcast, no task, just you and whatever arises. This is not meditation. It is simply making the acquaintance of yourself at rest. Most insecurely attached people have never met this version of themselves. It is the most important introduction you will ever make. Practice 6. Become your own first responder. When something hard happens, before you call anyone, ask, what do I need right now? Not what do I want to vent? What do I actually need? Sometimes you will need another person, but the asking, the checking in with yourself first, is how you build a self that doesn't collapse the moment external support is unavailable. Blue is alone, not because she's given up, not because she is waiting, because for the first time, she chose it. She chose a period of being alone on purpose, to practice, to build, to meet herself. It isn't comfortable at first. The quiet feels wrong, the way peace always feels wrong when your nervous system was trained for noise. She reaches for her phone 3 times in the first 10 minutes, puts it down, sits again. And something happens. Slowly, not dramatically. Nothing about this work is dramatic. Her grid lines settle, not because someone came to steady them, because she stopped disturbing them. She keeps her Tuesday commitment, repairs her Wednesday failure, trusts her Thursday perception, tolerates her Friday quiet. By Sunday, she notices she hasn't checked her phone for signs of anyone's approval, hasn't wondered if anyone is still there. She is still there. That, it turns out, is enough. And when Red appears, not because she summoned him, not because she needed rescuing, but simply because 2 people who are whole tend to find each other, she meets him differently. Not as the person who fills the hollow, as the person she chooses to let in. One thing we need to be clear about: this is not a case for self-sufficiency, for needing no one, for becoming so internally complete that connection becomes optional. Humans are wired for connection. Attachment is not a weakness, it's a design feature. Needing people is not the problem. It never was. The problem is needing people to be your foundation instead of your addition. When another person is your floor, their absence removes the ground beneath you. When another person is your addition, their absence is loss. Real, felt, grieved, but you are still standing. The work of building secure attachment with yourself is not the work of needing less. It's the work of building a floor, so that everyone who comes into your life stands on it with you rather than being it. Subscribe for new content every week.